Mr. Kleppo, let's
Yeah.
start.
Okay.
Actually,
Go on.
Ms. Karina just excuses that she has some guests right now. She has to entertain them.
Okay. All right.
Okay. First of all, it's it's live on my Facebook page. You can share
Oh,
or you can
okay.
watch after this session.
All right.
Okay, let's start. My first question, as mentioned in the topic, we see education provides harmony, peace, integrity, and so many other positive things. But at the same time, we are also seeing there is extreme, extreme level extremism, terrorism, and religious disharmony and antipathies and so on. In Europe, we have many examples like Christchurch Mosque incident, Narve incident, or some other. What would you say about the structure of education and the role of teacher and the development of interfaith harmony among the nation, not within a state, within a country? I'm talking about across the world, among all the nations we are to communicate with them. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for having me on this show. Uh, Good morning, because we are in the morning in Nigeria. It's 10 o'clock in the morning in Nigeria. So I want to say good morning. Good morning, Madam Haina. I don't know how to say your name.
Rahina,
Okay, Haina and Mr. Umar. Mr. Umar has been a known face, but I'm meeting Mrs. Aina for the first time. Good morning. Okay, I want to respond to your question now. All right. Education, that I said the other time, education is to, uh, let me reduce my microphone if it's going to help. Okay. Uh, I told you the other time that education has something to do with knowledge, acquisition of
yes,
information. And in addition, when you acquire knowledge, you need to be able to apply the knowledge. Okay,
of course.
right? Now,
Right.
education is not limited alone to four walls of classroom. That's the mistake we always make, because the first educator in our lives are the parents, the father and the mother. They have been given information since we were very young, and our environment happens to be the school. So to say, the environment we grew up happens to be in school. Okay, so the first teachers we had were the father and the mother, before we now
Of
decided
course.
to go to the four wall of institution. Okay, now information is power. Information is key. And how you project that information is also key. Because in my area in Nigeria, there's a saying that when you greet people, it could be feminine or masculine. Greetings can be feminine or masculine. That is, it means that information you project can either be positive or negative. Now, this takes me to religious education. Um, I want us to note this particular thing. It's very important. our religious educators are not really making things sound good. I have to reiterate that. Most of the religious educators are not educated themselves. They're not well educated.
It's bitter reality. It's bitter
Uh-huh.
reality, no doubt.
Okay. Uh, though some claim they went to theological school, but they are not really educated. Because if you are educated, because if you are educated, there are three things you have to think about. You have to think about social relationship. How do you relate with people? Number two, you are going to think about peace and harmony. How do you maintain peace among people? Then three, if you are educated, if you are well educated, you need to be able to think about uh, looking at the information of the other people. If I were in his position, how am I going to take it? For example, in my faith, there's a particular verse of the Bible which says that love others as you love yourself. So if you claim that, if you are educated and you believe that, you won't want to hurt other people because you don't want to hurt yourself anyway. So the role of teachers in maintaining religious peace or whatever is that they have to be, first of all, they have to be educated themselves, because all the holy books have advocated for peace, but people are causing trouble. Then it shows that they are not educated in the holy books. Because if they are educated in the holy books, they won't be doing what they are doing. So before you can sow a seed, you must have the seed yourself. Before you become a farmer, you must have a projection of what you want to do. So before you begin to teach someone as a cleric or as a religious educator, you have to be educated yourself. You have to know the contents. You need to have the knowledge. If you don't have the knowledge, there's nothing you are going to pass to other people. So in my submission, conclusively, I discovered that most of the religious educators, people who talk to people about religious things, they talk about God, and God is good. So I don't know where they have their own discord. So it's like this. So they have to be educated about God themselves before they project it to people. Thank you.
Okay, you talked about religious education. Should we involve religious education in our world's education, like schools, universities, or other institutions we are teaching in?
I don't think so. I don't think we should remove religious education. I'm going to cite some examples. I told you the other time, a particular country, a well-known country, said that religion should be taken out of their schools, and we are seeing the repercussion. I follow a particular Facebook series. It's about a particular judge, a judge. Uh, he deals with cases of people breaking out of their marriages, and I looked at it. I said, since God has been kicked out of their classrooms, so they have to now deal with a lot of troubles in our country. Why? Because they don't have the knowledge of God in their mind. And if you don't have the knowledge of God, if you want people to just act as they want, then there's going to be crisis. It is true they are developed technologically. It is true they are developed militarily. It is true they are developed in other parts of their life. But they are not developed morally. They don't have values. You see all these things
Absolutely.
in them. So I will want um, religious education to be included in the curriculum of schools. And they should teach values primarily and morals. They should teach values and morals. Those two things are very important, because if you don't know the value of anything, you won't attribute good values to it.
Great. Great point. Okay. In your opinion, can we say that morality and education go hand in hand and should work together?
Yeah, I strongly believe that. I strongly believe that. But it depends on how the educators pass across their information. And I will give you another example from another country. In a particular country in Africa, when you steal a lot of money as a politician and you are so wealthy, they sing your praises all about. But that is not good moral. That's not good moral. And I know of another country in the Arab, if you steal, they deal with you. That's good moral. Though it may be painful, but that's good moral. Do you understand? So,
Yes.
in part of Africa, the more you steal, the more you become wealthy, the more you become famous and important. So everybody, even that in itself is negative education. You are telling people that, oh, you see how they sing my praises all about. So go ahead and steal. Go ahead and steal and be wealthy so that they can sing your praises. So in that case, you are passing out some information, and that's it. So I believe that moral education and values should be taught under religious education in schools, right from elementary school to the university. That's what I believe.
Okay. Uh, as we are seeing that there is rise of Islamophobia, like in India against Muslims, in Europe against Muslims, in Western countries against Muslims, to some extent in African countries against Muslims. On the other hand, against Christians in even in Pakistan and some other countries, there is rise of movement against religions are being targeted. What we can do as a teacher to protect, to preserve these religions, uh, morals, ethics, and their ideologies.
Okay, I'm going to prefer three solutions. The first solution is that people have to be well educated about religious information they confront to other people. That's very key, because if you don't know something, you abuse it. If you don't know the value of something, you abuse it. For
No doubt.
example, if you don't know what they use television for, and you think a television screen is a pot, and you put it on bouncing flame, you are going to destroy it.
Definitely.
Those religious educators who preach to other people about their religion, some of them are not well grounded. So they pick the negative thing they hear from it, and they sow the seed into the heart of other people. So when they sow the seed into the heart of other people, those people who are gullible just take it hook and sinker, and they begin to go unleash terror on other people. As you have asked me about Islamophobia, I can see that majority of people who carry Islamic information also say something about the negative side of it to other people. I strongly believe that God is good, and God will not allow you to kill people that look like you. You
Of
can't
course.
kill, you can't kill to please God. If you want to kill to please God, God wouldn't have created human beings.
Of
So
course. Of course.
uh, people people who have good and sound education, we have their minds being enlightened, and they are not going to be able to kill other people. That is one. Number two is that when you are knowledgeable, you'll be able to share idea. I won't say that yours is wrong or mine is right. Mine is wrong and yours is right. You'll be able to collaborate with people and be able to allow other people to say their mind. There is need for constructive dialogue about things. Constructive dialogue. Why? Because electricity, for example, is not only for Christians, it's not only for Muslims.
Of course.
Hospitals, medical science is not only for Christians, it's not only for Muslims. Schools, not only for Christians, not only for Muslims. So why are we now contending about religious information? It's something I don't understand.
Oh,
I don't understand it.
yes.
Okay. Now, when you plant vegetable, you have a vegetable farm. You won't see on lettuce or cabbage written Christian. Everybody eats. Everybody eats the vegetable. On money, currency. You don't have Muslim money. You don't have Christian money. Money is for everybody. And when you spend it, you will say, no, I'm a Muslim. I won't collect your money. Oh, no, I'm a Christian. I won't collect your money. Because it's universal. So in the same way, God is universal. When God sends his rain, it doesn't rain only on Muslim farm, it rains on Christian farms as well. So why can't
Definitely.
people live together in harmony? The problem is that they lack collaboration. They lack collaboration. And finally, the last point now is that uh, when people are radicalized, to believe a particular set of information, information will always lead you to practicalize what you have heard. I told you in last episode that the value of education is for you to add information and skills. Because if you don't do something with the knowledge you have, you are not properly educated. People can be properly educated negatively. When people tell you that this is what you should do, this is what you should do, this is what you should do, and you go ahead and do it without you thinking about it, then you are less of a human. That's what I believe.
Okay. Mr. Glepo, since every religion, every faith claims that it's right and it's shared information data beliefs are completely right and superior to other religions, how can we know that the information shared by any religion is right and wrong?
Yes, you have to verify. I'm a scientist. And I have the method of science, because you don't just believe anything in science. You need to verify it. So
But
you have to
sorry,
put out.
science can't be applied to religions because there is a relation between a human soul and God, and science doesn't believe these kinds of beliefs or faiths.
You can apply science to religion. I found that out.
How? How?
Yes, I found that out. Yeah, I believe that there's something they call principle. Principle means that something that works everywhere at any point in time. And I'm going to take you back a little bit to it. God is the ultimate principle in our universe, right? God walks
Right.
everywhere. God is everywhere. You can pray to God everywhere. Now look at gravity. Gravity is another principle. You are sure that when you throw anything up on the surface of the earth, it comes down. Eh? You don't need to think about it. Whether you are rich or you are poor, or you come from a remote village, or you come from a city, or you come from anywhere, once you throw anything up, it's going to come down. But the principle is different from another planet. Say this, the moon. If you throw something up, it may not come down, it may float. So it means that that principle is different there. So why am I applying principles to it? Right? I hope you are listening to me.
Yes, yes. I'm listening.
So you have to test everything and make sure that they are right. Right? I want to give you one instance. I want to give you one instance. If you kill somebody, the hypothesis is that, are you doing something right? You have to put it into perspective. How do you test it? If the other person kills me, is the person doing something right? If the answer is no, it means that the principle is wrong. Then I won't
So
follow
therefore,
any
there is
religion that says that.
Mr. Clapo, there is some kind of recession in your voice and video. Disconnecting your voice and video.
I can see you. I can see you. I can hear you.
But but to some time, I was unable to see you.
Oh, oh, okay, okay,
Please carry on.
okay. I said you have to put everything into tests. You have to put everything into perspective. There's a problem again. Maybe the internet connection.
I think there is an
Okay.
internet error by your side.
Oh, I'm good. I'm good here.
Okay, continue, please.
Okay. Um, the example I gave. If I come to kill you, if I want to kill you,
Okay.
for example, I will have to put it into perspective. I will say that, okay, let me put myself into your shoes. If you come to kill me, are you doing the right thing? If the answer is no, then what I want to do is not right. So I won't believe anybody who says it. Okay. If somebody now says that, oh, he's recruiting me to come and be killing other people, why did he not recruit his son? Why did he not recruit his people, his mother, his father, to carry out the genocide? Why is he not going by himself? Why is he giving me bomb to put on my body and to go and explode in the marketplace? If the answer is that he will not do it, then I will not believe what he tells me. But the problem about the world is this. Most people that have been recruited, or most people that have gone into all of that, they do it in such a way that they don't use their mind. They don't think about it. They just get that information and they act on it. They act on it without thinking, without asking themselves questions. One of the methods of science, as I told you, is that science asks questions. They ask questions and they put hypotheses on ground. They carry out experiments before they come to conclusion. If the conclusion is that no, this thing is not good, they will not do it. So since the scriptures say that God is good, and if the act is not good, automatically you see that it's not coming from God. So any religion that says that is not a religion of peace, no matter how they portray it to be peace. So I know that there are some people in any religion, that have taken the bad side. They are not looking at the good side. They are not saying the good side to people. So people want to follow those bad side. So I know that those people are not representing those religion. They are just representing themselves. They are representing themselves.
Okay. Do you think that selective religion, to select some part of religion to follow in somebody's life, selective religion matters a lot in the world?
But you need to come again. I didn't hear that properly.
Okay. Uh, do you think that selective religion is matters?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think the cause of problem is the information the clerics are passing across and people who teach about this religious information. I don't think so because as a matter of fact, a particular religion is going to be predominant in a particular part of the world because of what they believe in. Like in Rome, you expect a lot of people to be Christian. Like in Saudi Arabia, you expect a lot of people to be practicing Islam. But what I want to say is that there must be tolerance. You don't have to force the other person to come to your religion because they have sense, they have their mind. They should be able to think about what they accept. When you force people to do something, they are filled with fear, and fear may allow them to do and undo. Religion should not be like military. You know, in the military, when you are co-opted into military, you just have to fight. When you are a soldier, you just have to fight. You can't say you don't want to fight. Why? Because you signed your life to protect your country. But religion should give peace, should give harmony, should give rest of mind, should give, when every other thing has failed, that's what should give a peace of mind, what you can relate with. So I know that in different parts of the world, there's going to be predominant religion. That's it.
Okay, Mr. Klebo, my last question for today's session is that as a teacher, how can we play a constructive role in building a interfaith harmony among different religions?
Uh, what I think we can do is to
As a
teach,
teacher,
yes, is to teach different religions in school. And we should not be teaching it as clerics. We should teach it as educators, bringing out
right?
the morals and the values in each story. For example, I'm a Christian. And I do services in my house. I pick part of the Bible. I teach my children. I teach my family, and I bring out the morals. Like yesterday, I read a particular part of the scripture, and I brought out three things. One of the things I brought out was they need to be courageous. They don't need to give up, so that God is going to reward all of that. So we should bring out morals out of our religious information. We should bring out values out of our religious information. We shouldn't be saying something suicidal, that if you can't kill them, they can't kill you, you kill them. That is wrong. That is wrong for humanity. They shouldn't be saying that when you kill people, that God is going to reward you. No, God doesn't reward for killings. God doesn't reward for killings. God rewards for preservations when you preserve people. Then we should look at different stories in both scriptures, in Islamic world and a Christian world, and we should bring out the good things out of it for people to emulate. And finally, we should reward good values. When you don't reward good values, it's a problem. The world today reward bad values. Like I told you, like in a particular African country, when you embezzle, embezzle money a lot, you are being rewarded by different accolades, chieftaincy title, and different things like that. That's negative reward. Reward for bad value. Yeah. So if you have done something good, you should be well rewarded. Like somebody the other time in Nigeria got a lot of money in dollars, and he took it back. He took it back to the owner. People began to say that, oh, the guy is foolish, the guy is silly, the guy is stupid, he can never be rich, because if they were in his shoes, they would go away with the money. Can you imagine? He has demonstrated good value, and therefore he should be well rewarded. So if he has been well rewarded, if he's carried on national television, if they celebrate him, if they give something like public holiday in his honor, people will be motivated to do things that are good. Thank you.
Mr. Blapo, thank you very much for being here, for sharing your ideas, reviews over the question, over the topic. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Mr. Amar. It's nice being on your show. Please share your email address to me so that I'll be able to share this. I'll be able to see how to watch it again. I think it's going live. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
I'm sharing.